Hi everyone, today I'll explain what is the purpose of code optimization in compiler design. So as I said earlier, there are several phases of a compiler. A very crucial or very important stage is code optimization. So code optimization is the last stage after the code is developed it's converted to the target machine. So in that target machine, how we will be perform this optimization method. So optimization is not a hardware, it's a technique or it's a process or it's a program. So what will happen is, so only optimization is the technique or process. It will reduce the CPU cycles and it will efficiently use the memory. So I'll tell an example like uh, if you initialize a variable I equal to 1 outside the loop or inside the loop, so where you have to use the appropriate variables declaration, so how it will be used. So that's why if you keep on repeating the variables in the loop, it will occupies the more memory space. So that is also one of the code optimization technique. So what is the definition for optimization? So it's a technique which will helps be uh, use the resources like CPU, memory, and execution of program will be much faster after if you code optimized gets optimized. So now in optimization, a higher level general programming constructs are replaced by lower level programming codes. So in this optimization process, we have to follow the rules. The very first rule is your optimization technique should not affect the output of the code. So whatever the code you have generated, what is the predicted output? So that output will be uh, get although if you modified or if you optimize the code. So it should not affect the program output. Then optimization must increase the speed of the program due to the limited number of resources, memory resources. Resources can be a memory or CPU. So the optimization means it should be execution speed will be increased. Then optimization not only increase the speed and it should not affect the overall compilation process. So that means so when you go for when you compile your code, so it doesn't affect it should not change the meaning, and also the flow, the compilation flow, it should not affect when you done your optimization. So optimize code, so what will happen, so they'll be use algorithms for this optimization technique. So optimization uh, can widely divided, that is can be divided into two types: machine independent and machine dependent. When you go for machine independent, it's not depend on your CPU or memory, only depends on your code. Look at this example for machine independent. As I said earlier, if you declare a variable inside the loop, in this example item equal to 10, so item equal to 10, it will execute 100 number of times. So initialization is need not to be uh, done here. So for a proper optimization of the code, initialization can be done outside item equal to 10. So it will save your it will be save your code execution, like assignment operator will not be repeated. So that is machine independent. So when you go for machine dependent, so this is will be done after the code is generated. So uh, how many CPU registers you used, and you declare an buffer, right, memory buffer, so cache memory, so everything your code is dependent on your uh, limited resources. So that is your machine dependent optimization. So now I'll explain how go for optimization of basic blocks. So optimization of basic blocks can be done with the help of identification of blocks first. So when you go for basic blocks, right? So consider a program. So a program, you have your branching control structure, unbranching control structure. So these are all considered as a blocks, your statements. So first you have to identify how many conditional branching, unconditional branching. So where the sequence of the program gets started and where it ends. So that is your identification of the block. So for basic block identification, so we are supposed to use this statement syntax identification. Then if the statement have any branch, what is the first statement of the program, so that has to be identified. So in this example, w equal to 0, x equal to x plus y equal to 0. So that is one part of statement. That is for if you go for a branching control structure, if else. So if having your true part, else having your false part. So if part, else part is one basic block. Then else followed by the another main program statements, that is another basic blocks. Likewise, we can divide this into your 4 basic blocks. Then you have to analyze where you have to apply your code optimization technique. So this basic blocks play an so this basic blocks it's identifying your variable. So whether you are using your same variable inside the loop, or if you are using more than one variable, so this is leads to your register memory allocation for the variable. So until and unless the loop or branching exit, so it will complete, right? So it will not allocate that memory location for some other variable. Then for control graph, so this is very important for control graph. Where is the flow of the program? So this has to be analyzed with the help of your control graph. So these 4 blocks are get divided, and which blocks has to be executed first. So that has to be identified by the control graph. So in this first B1 basic blocks, B1 has to be executed, B2 and B3, either B2 or B3, then B4 and exit. So this is the flow supposed to be followed after applied your code optimization technique. So now inside this, how we can apply for loop optimization. So consider this this is a for loop or while loop, whatever may be the loop. So loop means, you know, entry like while and do while, entry check, condition check loop. Loop means repeat the number of statements based on certain condition. That is the loop, you already know. So now it becomes necessary to optimize the loop in order to save CPU cycles and memory. So loops occupy your hardware machine dependent code. So that is your how many number of CPU cycles takes and how much memory it leads to. So that has to be identified. So loop optimization use the 3 techniques. So one is invariant code, induction analysis, and strength reduction. So why we go for invariant code? So for example, like if a piece of code is present in your loop, so in that piece of code it will generate your same value for each iteration. For example, 10 times you are executing your loop, all the 10 times a variable a statement generate the same output. So that is known as invariant code. It doesn't affect your loop iteration. This code can be moved out of the loop if you go for your repeated number of computation, rather you go for a iteration. So that can be avoided by go for this is also loop optimization, invariant code. Then another technique is identify induction analysis. So induction analysis, so once the variable uh, gets changed when you execute your loop, if you are altered within the loop, your variable is changed. So what is the definition as a variable is called an induction variable if it value is altered within the loop by a loop invariant value. For example, the same variable you are using your outside and inside. So inside this variable gets value keep on changing. So this is known as your induction analysis. So another method for loop optimization is strength reduction. So strength reduction. So one of the example, like when you go for multiplication 1 into 2. So 1 into 2 generate the same answer like n 1 less than 1. When the x value is less than or x value equal to 1, you go for multiplication 1 into 2, 1 into 3, 1 into 4. So this code can be place it outside for your loop optimization technique. So this is your code optimization inside. What is the loop optimization? What we have. So now next concept in this dead code elimination. So what is the dead code elimination? So sometimes you will have a statement. So that statement you will never execute it in your program, or it will not generate your output. That is known as your dead code elimination. So when you go for partial dead code, so what is the partial dead code in this? You consider a statement a equal to x into y. So a equal to x into y, then a equal to z. So the same statement gets repeated in your code. I'll show an example like dead code, partial dead code. So a equal to z, a equal to x into y. If you go for two values at the very first instant, the a value get executed. The second instant, the a gets the another variable. So if you go for another variable, this assignment operator will be used. So this value that again the same the previous statement a equal to xy, it will be dead. So that is known as your dead code. The next in that, what do you mean by partial redundancy? You know what is the meaning of redundancy? Is a duplication. So what we have to identify the duplication. So for example, a equal to y operator z, b equal to y operator z, c equal to y operator z. So this is redundant. When you go for partial redundant expression, look at this example. I have if condition a equal to y operator z, else equal to, that is c equal to y operator z. So although I am having a two variable, so two different variables, but expression of y operator z it's same. So that is the duplication. So instead of executing this variable as a one time, then it can be utilized as a. No need to declare a new variable as c. So that is known as a partial redundancy. So another example here, temporary variable. If you assign your temporary variable as y operator z, so you can use a equal to temporary variable. Then if you assign c equal to temporary variable. So this is how we are avoiding this or eliminate the duplication with the help of your code motion. Code motion is assigning a new variable for the same expression and no need to execute the expression. So simply assigning using the help of the assigning operator, you can move the variable from A to C. So that is how if you execute your operator several number of times, so that's also leads to your execution of the speed will be less. So that is one of the technique in code optimization. So this is how code optimization technique will be done in your compiler design. Thank you.